but try to get in touch. Just wanna
Stay with you, still walking out your life.
Everybody is talking about how AI is actually bad for producers, how it's gonna take our jobs away and all that stuff. But today in this video, I'm gonna show you how it can actually benefit you as a producer and somebody who makes samples, beats, and doesn't know how to sing. Alright, so starting off, before we go to the point where I'm gonna show you the vocals, how to mix them, all that stuff, I want to break down the foundation of the sample because we still need a bass on top of which we should be laying. I start with something which is a little bit more melodic, a little bit more emotional, and using this dark score piano from Keyscape, I lay down this pattern which follows the 1-7-6-7 chord progression. As a foundation, you don't want to do too much with the melody. Basically, you just want a simple chord progression. And if you add too many notes, it's actually going to be harder to sing and come up with ideas on top of these melodies. All I'm doing is I'm using simple triad chords. So we have a minor triad chord, major triad chord, major triad chord. What I've done is I just took the middle notes of these chords and I pitched them up an octave. And in between, I added these tiny little accent notes, which just move the melody. For effects, I wanted to take out the low end and I really wanted that high end to shine, so I added this EQ. After that, I wanted to make the piano sound more wide, so I added this stereo shaper. To add some more reverb to the sample, I added this Valhalla vintage reverb. I wanted something which is a little bit more soft and ambient and something to layer the sample with. So I pulled up this Lounge Lizard VST, which is free, and I just copied the chords. But this electric piano still wasn't sounding as soft as I wanted to be, so I went ahead and I added this EQ, taking out the high end and the low end. And after that, I wanted to add a little bit more of a texture, something which has a little bit more movement in the background. I opened a portal and I just added this custom preset which I made. For a second switch up, I wanted to apply the technique which I used in my previous video. So I just exported these two layers together. I open up the melody in Edison like so. And right after that, I right clicked here and then I set the sample rate to 3000. I open up Analog Lab and I'm using this tonal contrast preset and I'm just following the root notes. I wanted some texture, so I added these percussion loops, which are very common in these type of samples. I wanted something which is going to be in the background as like a near candy, but it's not going to be a main melody, so I added this guitar. Now, as far as the effects go on this guitar, it's a very long effect chain, but I'm gonna leave it in the description so you can go get it for free. And finally, I wanted to add some vocals to fill out the sample and make it a vocal sample. So what I did next was I tried to sing as best as I could. I opened up ChatGPT and I asked it to make some song lyrics which are in the style of Drake, R&B, The Weeknd, all that stuff, and I tried my best to sing these lyrics. You've been on my mind, but try to get in touch. Just wanna see if you still want me out your life. We producers, we just can't sing. It's okay. I open up this auto-tune. I use Waves, but you can use any auto-tune plugin. And what I did next was I just went ahead and I tweaked the settings until I had this sweet spot where the vocals don't sound that robotic. Like, I'm not pushing the auto-tune way too much, but you can also hear the pitch correction working. Right after that, I just export the vocals, and then I open up this website which is called Audime or Audime, I don't know how it's called. Basically, this is something like an AI model which just takes your vocal and, makes it sound like it's another person. So in my case, I just clicked here and I got this Nicole. Right after that, I just drag and drop my audio file here. I set the key right here to match my sample, and then I generated the vocal.
You've been on my mind, been trying to get in touch. Just wanna see if you still want me out your life.
I repeated the exact same process, but for these vocal chops for the switch up. It was time to process these vocals so they sound a little bit better. And starting off, I wanted to add some reverb, so I added these exact settings. You can copy them, you can use the exact same effects chain. This EQ, which is taking out the low end. Then I added this compressor. You can use any compressor, I just prefer using this one. Then I added a very tight delay. Now, you can use Echo Boy, you can use Fruity Delay, like, it doesn't matter. You just want to make sure that it's very tight, like 20 to 30 milliseconds. I use it sometimes it doesn't sound as good, but you can use Alter Boy to just change the format shifting. So with all the effects added, this is how the vocal sounds now.
You've been on my mind, been trying to get in touch. Just wanna see if you still want me out your life.
And finally, since I wanted to add this more lo-fi effect to the vocals, I exported it, I pitched it, and then I added Cymatics Origin, which basically just degrades the sample rate. You can do that with Edison, as I showed you. And now the vocal and the vocal chops and the switch up sound like this.